Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Today, going over Spidey tactics as usual. Timeline battle, vibranium, 6 teams. Let's do it. Gore is pretty good against Spider-Man. You know, you want to use the 2 as quickly as possible before he goes back into Spider-Man's 4. Because Spider-Man will probably kill me with a second 4. I do a double switch. And then I'm going to run away from Carnage if I can. It's going to get a little complicated now, but I could rely on Iron Man to kill Carnage. To a degree, of course. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. Oh, maybe I can get a kill with this Awaken skill. Ooh. Jean's in for it now. Yeah, like it's a 20% chance that she'll penetrate anyway. Which is like weird. Like what I mean by that is that she will still penetrate with the skill after she died, and that's not supposed to happen. It doesn't usually happen. It's a glitch because you know the drill. You know, timeline battle is rigged, and I'm making a case for it every single time I do videos like this where a new character comes out and they want to promote him. So this week Jean is banned, so they're promoting Spider-Man a lot, and Spider-Man's counter, which is Hulk, Carnage, Gore, etc. But also, we got a special surprise. Punisher is also a tactic against Spider-Man, and he's pretty good. However, against characters like Carnage or Hulk, he falls flat sometimes if they have too much defense. These clips were taken the week prior to this one, so I'm showcasing what I believed was the toughest teams that were available. So I thought this team was pretty hard to kill, because it's 3 meta, and I think those are the standard teams. I think you may get 2 meta with 1 support or triple meta. I just want to make sure that all of my teams work, Okay, as you saw there, I switched at a delayed time, kept my distance, and then did 2 cancel 4. There will be times where I will have to practice because I do get some L's and I do screw up on my, rotation of characters, switching, when to switch, who kills who, etc. So, this Carnage I think has refinement, but he's much more durable with refinement combined with Colossus. Otherwise I think he's still pretty soft. But I generally, for this team, I use 2 decoys for Hulk, so he could survive against pretty much everyone. Because all he needs is, 8 seconds a pop, pretty much. You would think that I would use Shang-Chi to try and kill Spider-Man, but I find it just much easier to do it with Carnage because there are times where Spider-Man just one-punches me and it just pisses me off. Well, when he's fighting Shang-Chi, not really with Carnage. Carnage could survive 2 hits instead of 1. But when I get him, like a 4 cancel 3, very simple with Carnage. Here it's tricky because I have to try and cancel a bunch of skills to get all of my stats, but keep the reflect. I wonder if I get the L here. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, so it's dealer in this case is very important. You want to pick the right dealer. I think with enough testing, I usually figure it out once I fight enough teams. So I don't have to keep swapping a dealer every single time. Yeah, you see that 4 cancel 3 worked like a charm. It works every single time, but you gotta double switch to avoid the 4 because the 4 is a one-shot against everyone. Yeah, you gotta remember that Carnage has physical defense, so you want to fight Carnage with energy dealing characters, not really physical. Especially when Carnage has got Colossus. wonder if I get the win here. I run and do the 5 and sometimes it works. Oh wow, I think I get a nice win here. Yep, run and do the 5, do the 4. Wow, she's taking a lot of damage. Yeah, greed gives you extra defense. You know, mighty or brilliant greed gives you extra defense, and it gives you the ambush buff as well, obviously. Here it's also a little bit tricky because I want to keep Thanos, obviously. I don't want to one-shot Thanos, but I can one-shot Mystique, but then I also have to wait at a very specific time so I have my 5 ready to, especially for Jean Grey, because if I'm gonna kill Spider-Man and Jean Grey back to back with Spider-Man, I'm able to do that so long as I time it like perfect. And I don't know if I get the win here. I think I do, because I can remove Jean Grey's buffs also with the right timing. Like, everything about timeline battle is actually about timing. You can get a lot of great wins if you know how to time things very well. It's almost like a skill. I mean, there were 2 teams that I ended up swapping out. It was that previous team and like another team. I just swapped like maybe 2 characters because I wanted to fix their consistency. But yeah, Sentry is also a great counter to Spider-Man, because his 2 with accumulation, his 4 with extra damage, and then his 5 with penetration with his 1 should all combine to get him, especially when he's invisible. It's just his dodge. Like, it really depends on if Spider-Man's dodge is enough. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But it's kind of the same thing with Silver Surfer. If Silver Surfer had more ignore dodge, then I would be able to kill Spider-Man much faster. But in this case, it's kind of like a sacrifice. It's either you get debuff removal, ignore dodge, and debuff removal you almost always want to go with. The only way you may get away without using debuff removal is if you have like all of, or 2 out of 3 of your characters with invincibility. But yeah, as you can see, I'm going to try to like kill Spider-Man again, and he had enough defense. But I'm gonna get another chance. You know, be in iframe. Yeah. Like, it'll usually work eventually. Like, Sentry is pretty good because he usually gets enough hits to kill him. Ooh, nice. Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man will always be underrated because nobody really knows where to utilize him, but I think in PvP he's okay, but he's obviously not meta. It's like, no way. But he is useful. His physical reflect is actually very useful nowadays. It's also a pretty good tactic to charge up awakened skills, like, you know, Absorbing Man's awakened skill or Destroyers, because they end up one-shotting the opponent if you could last more than 30 to 35 seconds. Because I think awakened skills don't charge up while you die as a character or the AI dies. I think that's the only time. Like, time kind of stops when they die, but not like the timer above, but like the game time stops. Yeah, you can see Absorbing Man, like, I reflected his damage pretty easily. And yeah, I could have done a switch to Silver Surfer or a switch to Destroyer right when Jean's going to do the 2, because she's always going to do the 2 as soon as she comes in. That's kind of what I like about Jean, is that she's predictable. Spider-Man is a little bit less predictable because he could charge his skills very, very quickly. And his skills one-shot, and his penetration lasts much longer than his, you know, skills. And now it's like I'm going to have to try and beat Spider-Man and Jean back to back with just Spider-Man, and that's definitely not possible, especially when all my characters just died. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to do the tactic I said before. I'm going to switch to Mystique as a decoy, so Spider-Man is under cooldown. And then I got to wait until that hits 1 second. The 5th skill hits 1 second, so I can do the 4th and then the 5th skill for defense. So now I can kill Spider-Man and Jean Grey back to back. And that's why in my ratings in the forum, I put Spider-Man as number 3 in PvP, in timeline battle, because there are not many characters that can kill meta back to back. The only 2 that I know, or 3, is Jean, Hulk, and Spider-Man. And maybe Gore, and maybe Carnage. I think that's probably it. I think in most cases, people are either going to put Jean first, they're going to pick Gore first, or they're going to pick Spider-Man first. And I think picking Jean first or Gore first is ideal, because they can not only get you a guaranteed like one shot in the beginning, but they also have a revive. And for the people that put Spider-Man first, it gets them a guaranteed kill, but only after you've done all your runs. So in many cases, you're going to need Spider-Man to finish the match, you know, to get that last kill that can guaranteed one shot. But most people that put Spider-Man first, it's a tactic to make their team harder. There I use Shang-Chi to kill Spider-Man. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think, like, you know, the fact that he gets just punched once and dies as a combat is pretty sad, but I mean, Spider-Man is tier 4 after all. Oh, this team is whooping me right now. But maybe if I can get this reflect kill, I may be able to get away with a win. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta remember, there's a big difference between invincibility and damage immunity. Damage immunity does not protect you from super guard break. Invincibility does. So you guys gotta be aware of that. That's why I saved myself, because I made sure I did the invincibility with the 5th skill. Here, like I said before, I don't have to do a double switch. I can just switch to Hulk, because tier 4 Hulk could basically tank half of Spider-Man's 4th skill. And then obviously, I like to have a decoy in place. So, like, I have Captain America first, because I know he can take some damage and get like a switch when I need him to. And then Hulk is one of the few, like I said, that can get the double. So as long as you have a decoy there that can take like some damage for some time, or maybe if you want, you could pick a meta that has revive and you can use him to kill your tune, you can do that. You know, I think people's ideal teams, you know, I think people can still pick Gore, Hulk, and a support team, and that team can still work. I think people can still use the Agent Venom Carnage team, so long as I think they have Gore with them too. I think they can do it. See, I love Punisher getting that counter kill. Yeah, there, as you saw, the skill penetrated after her death, so that is a load of baloney. That should not happen, like, at all. And I was finding like inconsistencies with this team, with the Doom, Punisher, Emma team. So I swapped Doom and Thanos. So now Doom is with Spider-Man, and now Thanos is with Punisher and Emma Frost. Because Doom, while he has a revive, he can't kill as many characters as efficiently as like Thanos. So I think that team is pretty balanced despite it not having a revive. But here, you know, I have to get the win, because that's just how I am. You know, I get a little stubborn. It's usually like maybe 1 to 2 teams that causes me to do like a random team switch, you know, but I think I've recently found consistency, and there's at least 4 teams that I can safely say will be okay for me in pretty much any situation. Yeah, like, you will get some inconsistencies. Like, why is it that, you know, not like 99% of the time Gore penetrates Spider-Man with his 2nd skill, but that one time he didn't? You know, you'll never know. But it usually occurs with the first match or the second match that you play as soon as you get into timeline battle. Sometimes it happens when you switch the opponent that you're fighting. Sometimes it happens when you switch your team. So you want to be aware that, you know, your first couple of matches in those moments are going to be a little bit off. So don't fret. Just know that, the reason why you're getting a 92% ratio instead of 100 is because the game does sometimes force an L. And people will, they'll contend to this and they'll say that it's true. I mean, it's a pretty big statement, but I've been playing Timeline Battle for so long that I think I can safely say it. So, be careful out there when you're fighting. Practice definitely makes perfect, and, there'll be times where you may need to find a different rhythm to beat the opponent. So, practice before you fight him, because those points are pretty precious. I think Brilliant Regen or Authority is excellent for Spider-Man in PvP. He doesn't need Greed anymore to do enough damage. So I think Greed isn't necessarily the best for him anymore. But if you want to keep him at tier 3 level 80 and still rock with him in Timeline Battle like that, then you can definitely use Greed on him and get away with him being almost as good. Because Greed is such a great CTP, but only for very specific tunes. Yeah, Spider-Man with debuff removal and Colossus are definitely the toughest Spider-Man, especially if they have a defensive CTP on top of that. And I've seen Spider-Man with a lot of different CTPs like Destruction. So, once again, that makes Spider-Man very unpredictable, But you really want to avoid his skills because his skills are very lethal. And there you saw, I barely got the win there. My tier 3 level 80 Spider-Man barely got the kill on that tier 4 Spider-Man. Even Jean at sometimes could be a little bit tanky with Colossus. Forgot to mention that Spider-Man's AI rotation is 4, then 5, 3, and then usually 4 again. But if you die within Spider-Man's first hit of his 4th skill, then he made 2 because of the cooldown. Okay, so as you're gonna see right there, damage immunity not protecting me against super guard break. And now I lost Carnage, so I have to rely on Reflect to try and get this kill. I think I get the L here. Yeah, I noticed in this video with this team, I did get a lot of L's. With this team, I had to practice a whole lot. Because like I said, when you're fighting triple meta, you don't know which characters to switch to. There could be some Spider-Man that don't have that much attack, and you can get away with, killing him with someone like Shang-Chi like I just did. And, I definitely rely very heavily on Carnage killing Jean Grey. So there are times where I have to save Carnage and I can't use him to kill Spider-Man. The rotation of Spider-Man also may vary based on the other person's attack speed. So if he has slightly lower attack speed, the rotations of his skills may vary. So you also want to keep that in mind. Yeah, Hulk not having an attack support while Jean and Spider-Man have a defense support is obviously putting me at a kind of a big disadvantage. Yeah, that gets annoying. Sometimes Spider-Man does super guard break against Hulk, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he hits him all the time, sometimes he doesn't. Spider-Man's 4th skill is very strange. Sometimes it doesn't hit all the time. I think Spider-Man needs ignore dodge, especially when he's level 80. There, I'm okay. But before, I got super guard broke. And then he just dodged the whole skill. I was getting so mad because I just don't understand. Spider-Man has 95% dodge. That's what it feels like. Yeah, Captain America's coming in, clutches a decoy there, but Especially with Jeans with Colossus, you actually have to time your 4th skill with Hulk. When she's off both damage immunity and invincibility. But only usually when she has Brilliant Refinement. Because, you know, with Brilliant Refinement, she has extra HP, and she has a bunch of health, and she has Super Guard Break immunity. Sometimes I'll swap to Iron Man instead of Gore first, because I want Iron Man to get rid of, you know, the regen bar or the Brilliant Authority bar, because, you know, that way Spider-Man is more open. And if with Gore, if you use 5 cancel, 4 cancel 3, or 4 delay cancel 5, delay cancel 2. Sorry, I said 3 originally, but I meant 2. If you use 4 delay cancel 5, delay cancel 2, you should be able to kill Spider-Man very, very quickly. What was interesting was that here, I actually decided to swap the Brilliant Authority, the Mighty Authority I had on Punisher, and I swapped it to a Mighty Destruction. Because with a Mighty Destruction, right, that was with the proc, but it got delayed halfway. I still didn't kill Spider-Man. So Punisher could not kill Spider-Man while he was with Colossus, with a Mighty Authority. But with Mighty Destruction, I was able to kill him. There, solid kill every single time. Don't need to worry about inconsistencies. And that's all I need out of a character for me to use him. If, you know, Punisher doesn't have to kill everybody, but if he can kill one meta for me and live, he's useful to me. So here we go. Here is the vote that won in my poll in the forum. I was going to fight Commander, and it was kind of convenient for me because at the time when he was in Challenger, he was rocking this team with Emma Frost. And I know that this team could throw a lot of people off because you obviously have to be careful of the residual damage that comes with your skills, because she reflects everything back at you and kills your character. Yeah, I don't know if I can get the win here, but I'm trying to reflect as much damage to Emma as I can, and then hope Jean Grey just dies without her doing the 5th like so. But there, look, she didn't penetrate. So that's why I'm saying, like, timeline battle is very, very unstable. And it could be very, very frustrating to many players. And it's why many players have either given up on it or have partially given up on it and just play it casually. So in this particular moment, I'm trying to get Spider-Man to kill Spider-Man and Emma Frost back to back, which is actually possible, but you gotta pick the right skill. So I was using the 3 and I was getting hit by the 5. So I decided to use a different iframe. I decided to use the first skill, and the first skill has enough power to kill Emma Frost in one shot with penetration up, and I'm going to show you. So there, I don't take damage from the 5th, and I pretty much get invisible, so I get some defense against the next opponent. So I basically just killed the whole team with Spider-Man. And Spider-Man was in full health. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I can get kind of lucky with Shang-Chi if I time it right, because Spider-Man, when he's doing the 4, he flips over to your other side. And right around that time where he's about to flip over, you want to switch your character, because that negates like one punch or like one hit. So then the second hit, if Spider-Man doesn't have enough damage, you may be able to take it. That's why I'm able to get some lucky kills. And then, I rely on the other two to kill the others. Yo, get the hell out of here, bro. Get out of here. Do you know how crazy that is? Spider-Man just punched Hulk in the face and killed him in one hit because my iframe wasn't long enough. Yo, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Let me just kill you with Captain America real quick. Yeah. I'm not gonna kill Jean, obviously. But I will this time. Sometimes I can jump over her skills, sometimes I don't, but that's why I got a decoy. In fact, that's why I got 2 decoys. I try and kill Jean with the second and the third skill. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yo, that brilliant authority threw me completely off. Like, I almost lost that. I'm surprised I lived. But that's why you have to time your skills, because there are times where if she has brilliant authority and you get that one hit that doesn't penetrate because she has invincibility, that could cost you. Just one hit could cost you. You see, that's so frustrating too. Like, what gave him the right to just swap his skill like that? This game is so funny. I tell you, this game is funny. Oh man, I think I could pull off a win if I'm lucky. Nah, no way. Yeah, Destroyer. He's generally pretty squishy. It's only if I can get like residual damage. I shouldn't usually need to switch to Iron Man to try and like get rid of Spider-Man's buff, but I just do it for safety because Iron Man can't really kill Jean Grey, so he doesn't really serve that much purpose for me. So there I just sacrifice core to get the residual damage because I'm pretty comfortable in Destroyer. And I can do the same thing with Iron Man. I can just take the damage, get the residual damage, and be done with it. So hey guys, it's coming towards the end of the video, and these are kind of like the extras where I use like other characters that may be able to kill Spider-Man like at a relatively consistent level. Like my Warlock is tier 2, but I think if he was tier 3 there, he could easily get that counter and probably one-shot him, especially with like energy or like greed. Doctor Doom is another tactic I try to use. It's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But If Doctor Doom does have some ignore dodge, I think preferably 50, like not like 20. I think he could do pretty well. Same with Doctor Strange. I mean, I'm using Doctor Strange's like old uni, and he could have killed Spider-Man if Spider-Man didn't have a defensive CTP, you know? Who am I going to try next? I think I'm going to try everyone's favorite. Oh, no, not yet. Okay, yeah, Quicksilver. I mean, Quicksilver, he's just so inconsistent. Like, you would think, oh, 70% penetration means that he can penetrate 70% of the skill. But no, it means that 70% of the time, he's going to penetrate completely. But I often get results like that, where he does a half-assed job, or the penetration just completely misses. So he's just hitting nothing. He's hitting damage immunity. And it's pretty sad. Like, I think they need to fix the character, or the character needs to be tier 4. And then I think it's everyone's favorite next. Oh, maybe not. What did I... Oh, I know what I do here. Yeah, so this is the funniest hell. That is the funniest way I can kill Spider-Man, is to just switch to Emma during his second hit of his 5th skill, so he just dies in one hit. That's how much damage Spider-Man has. It's actually pretty nuts. Oh, I think this is an Iron Man special. Get ready. Well, I mean, like, Iron Man can't, like, kill Spider-Man, obviously, but I managed to get this tier 3 skill off Jean Grey, which, pretty awesome. Alright guys, last clip, everyone's favorite Gambit is come back to town to kill all the meta. So, be ready. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe, you know, tell all your friends. And next video is going to be on the season. So I'm going to be posting an Absorbing Man timeline video and others. So be sure to check those out. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for the support, guys. Take care.